you try to stop me, I will destroy you.
She is one of the most powerful elves in all of Middle-earth. Not only does she possess breathtaking beauty, she also wields incredible magic. When Gandalf was preparing to enter Mirkwood, she sensed that Sauron's power was growing rapidly, and reached out to Gandalf through her mind. Gandalf had no choice but to temporarily leave the dwarf company, to investigate the clues pointing to Sauron's return. When he arrived at Dol Guldur, Gandalf found the abandoned fortress, already completely consumed by a dark presence, so he sent Radagast away first, and entered the castle alone to investigate. But the moment he stepped inside, a dark shadow locked onto him. Gandalf immediately cast a spell, trying to expose the necromancer hiding there. What he didn't know was that Azog had already set up an ambush. Gandalf was walking straight into a trap. The second he entered the fortress, he was suddenly attacked from behind. Luckily Gandalf was already on guard. After a short fight, Gandalf managed to overpower his attacker. He pressed his hand against the man's forehead. As a mysterious incantation filled the air, the man finally regained consciousness, and his identity turned out to be Thrain Thorin's long-lost father. But just as Gandalf was about to get them out, Azog suddenly burst in. Gandalf had no time to react, and was slammed hard to the ground with a single blow. Azog moved in to finish him off. Gandalf quickly raised his staff to block the strike. That bought him just a moment. But when he looked down from the fortress, he saw they were completely surrounded by an army of orcs. Enemies everywhere inside and out. Gandalf forced himself to summon his magic. A flash of white light, and the two of them vanished on the spot. But halfway through their escape, the necromancer suddenly struck to cut them off. Thrain was instantly ripped away by that terrifying force. Gandalf fought back with everything he had, but the necromancer's power was clearly way beyond his. The white shield was already starting to crack. Gandalf raised his staff for one last stand. Right at that moment, a figure slowly emerged from the black mist. Gandalf's staff began to get devoured by the dark energy piece by piece. Then, in an instant, an invisible force pinned him hard against the wall. And in that moment, Gandalf finally saw the necromancer's true face. Everything confirmed what he had suspected. The necromancer was none other than the Dark Lord Sauron himself. Gandalf was then thrown into a cage. He and Radagast outside the fortress chanted spells at the same time, fighting back against Sauron's dark corruption. The orcs saw Gandalf was still resisting, and slammed the iron cage straight into the ground. Gandalf struggled with every last bit of strength he had. That pushed the orc over the edge. He spotted the ring of fire on Gandalf's hand, and to get it, the orc was about to chop off Gandalf's fingers right then and there. At the most critical moment, a hand wearing the ring of water suddenly appeared, and the one who came was Galadriel, the Elven Queen herself.